Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to semi-finals. We're watching the match between Mick Hill and Mick Scerri. The other semi-final match will be between Jake McCartney and Ben Judge, managed to sneak in 4-3 after being 3-1 down against Daniel Thorpe. I've also got a very, very special, and I mean extremely special, treat for you all coming up soon. Ben Nunan's going to join us in commentary. And I know the phones are going to start ringing, but just try and contain yourselves and just look forward to the verbal that he's about to bring us. So on with this match. Mick Hill looks like he broke, did he? And he's come up dry. And Scerri's surveying the situation, deciding what he wants to do. Now, at first glance, Red's looked the balls, and he agrees. Well, he's hit that a bit short to start up. He definitely wanted to come higher. He still decides to take this ball in the corner. Should be able to miss the black and get himself in the middle of the table. No, he's still cannoned it, but landed pretty well. Bit of work for it. This doesn't look that hard, this frame, just because all the balls are open, but there's a little bit of work to do with the white. I think he just played this plain ball. Yep. I believe you want to slide past that red, and he may play the ball near the cushion now, because it's going to be a tricky ball later on to get onto from those two near the left-hand side. And as promised, the great, the wonderful Ben Nunan about to join us in commentary. How are you, Benny?
Hey, Steve-O.
Now,
wonderful, I'm not sure, but thanks for the intro.
Yeah, Benny's not having a fun time in the tournaments of late. He's also got beaten by Ben Judge today, was it, mate, in the semi-finals? Oh, sorry, the quarter-finals, the last 16.
Yeah, no, I think it was the last 246.
Oh, sorry,
sure,
my bad. I thought you actually got a bit further than that.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, not to take.
Thanks for mentioning I'm struggling too, mate.
Oh, we just missed actually a super shot Scerri just played there too. Not to take too much away from this match, but there has been a fair bit of interest peaked in a couple of the states. You can give us a bit more info. I understand you're playing a $10,000 match against a fella from New South Wales. You want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, you put me on the spot a little bit there.
Sorry, mate, I was asked to do it.
Thanks for mentioning that before. Yeah, Dan Lynch would have put you on the spot straight away, I would have thought. A bit of promotion for Q-Ball TV. No worries. Yeah, playing a bloke named Hop from New South Wales, apparently a local there that does minor money games. So yeah, we hooked it up and see how we go.
Yeah,
should be good.
Best of 35, is it?
It's race to 31 American 8 ball, I believe, and we'll go up a couple of days early or a day early and see how the tables play. Apparently it's one of the best rooms in Australia, City Heroes. I hear a lot about, so yeah, it's should be fun.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, American pool's different to the two-shot rules you're watching now. If there's a foul, there's only one shot, ball in hand, so you don't put the white ball behind ball, you put it wherever you like. No such thing as a foul snooker. There's a few other little intricacies as well. But yeah, I'm sure that'll be covered by the guys at Q-Ball TV once the match happens.
Yeah, well, the great thing is that the date that we set was May 24, I believe, and Kimmo, who's the other cousin of Dan, the Q-Ball TV genius that he is, from the New South Wales version, is going away to Vegas at the same time. So Dan's actually going to fly up, as Q-Ball TV does every time. They make sure that they're there at every event.
Yeah, that's huge.
And he's going to fly over and make sure that he's involved. So we'll be live streamed, I believe, and yeah, should be good.
I'm sure plenty will tune to that, especially the amount of cash. I think that might be the biggest cash game that we've seen in Australia, that I know of anyway.
Well, you know what, mate? I haven't actually thought about that at all until everyone's told me that today at this tournament. So I didn't think it was such a big deal until yeah, everyone started talking about it, to be honest. But yeah, I suppose it's really good, and it is a fair amount of money. But it's good. It's good promotion, hopefully for especially Cue Ball TV, and yeah, no, it's a good game, American Apple. A lot of people, it's not much seen in Australia. There's not a hell of a lot of people that play it, but it's growing, and it is a brilliant game. And places like City Heroes and Pool Bar in Melbourne and in the city, you've got the brand new Brunswicks, tournament tables that you play on at the world titles, and it makes a huge difference. Like you're playing on class tables rather than not rubbish, but it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, definitely.
And people are putting in a lot of money for these ballrooms with the costs and whatnot for the tables. And I know that Sydney doesn't have licenses, alcohol licenses for their venues, so it's a big risk basically. It's a big risk to open up a room without any alcohol license, and hope that your tables that you're spending anywhere between 5 and 10 grand on to make happen and survive. Let's get back to the pool.
Yeah,
please.
that's
enough about that match, please.
Obviously, Scerri wasn't intimidated at all, took the first frame, but made the cardinal sin, scratched the white off the break, and the result is a 1-all score. Meanwhile, Jake McCartney on the other table was about to go 1-0 up on Ben Judge. Jake McCartney flowing pretty well today, made mincemeat of me in about 4 minutes, and then hasn't looked back since.
Yeah, he's an animal. Not much you can say really. When you get on a run, I was saying to you earlier, Jamie, when you get on a run of winning tournaments and whatnot, you like to call it the strawberry, the punnet. It just seems to happen regularly when you start winning, and it's fair enough to the player that anyone that wins tournaments deserves a little bit more luck and got to do the hard yards. And Jakey's getting 20 at the moment, and the funny thing is the bloke he's playing is doing the same thing.
Well, one of them's going to round out luck, mate, because they haven't played. They're playing each other now. Look at this break from Mick. Jesus, he has absolutely been poleaxing the break on this table. He had a similar break earlier. This is actually a terrible break compared to the other ones. Only because there's a yellow ball up the other end of the table. The other one, all the balls were over the hole on one end.
You're talking about the best player in the world that's going to struggle to pot these reds, are you, Jamie? Or?
No, I don't think he will. In fact, I don't even know why I looked at reds. I think I only looked at yellows because more of them got pot off the break.
I honestly believe you should just time this, and I am tipping this will go under about 40 seconds for the rest of this out. There's absolutely no chance of him butchering this because he's got a linking ball to the black, which is the black goes in the middle, which is his only ball down this side of the table. Black end of the table. It's just bang, bang, bang. It's too easy.
Yeah, you're right. The only person to do this quick would be yourself, mate.
No, I don't believe in that. It's very, very simple to see when there's linking balls up all the time and this sort of class player. It's just no way he's going to miss, really.
Yeah, you don't really have to do anything with the wide. As you can see, it's hardly travelled at all, and that's the way you always want it if you can get it. A little stun. Oh, he just ran through, actually. So, yeah, that was a quick frame, and look, that's actually a bit intimidating for any player. And, Mick needs to apply with his own break here, and Mick's Scerri on there. He needs to break and make something happen. Otherwise, this could get out of control.
I mean, you watch the quarterfinal, Joel and Mick. I mean, Joel's probably one of the biggest blacks you'll ever see to go 2 each, and then just has a dry break, and Mick pots out and then breaks and has it doesn't get another shot. So the last shot Joel's played really is a big black. It's very, very hard in this game now. The level has improved that much that the break is so important, and I honestly believe that the pockets in Australia are way too big at the moment. Everywhere soon to play, the pockets are way too big, and the break has become the most important thing in the game. It always has been at the top level on any table, but it's got a little bit scary these days because as we watch, it's got a bit scary because it really is just pot out pool, and these tournaments that we run, we have to only have best of fives and best of sevens. Otherwise, it just obviously goes too late. So anyone could sort of win them, but
it's funny too. Australia sent over a super side last year, Benny, which you were involved in. And Mick actually made the comment and said that Australia were actually too aggressive. which is a really weird thing to say, but what he meant by that is they just didn't know when to pull up sometimes, and losing. I guess I didn't see it obviously, but losing some frames when maybe we could have pulled up a little bit of some frames. And just so much confidence in the top liners these days, not just in Australia but all around the world. But you still have to have a B game. That's basically the bottom line. You need to. If the balls get really tied up, you need to be able to negotiate that as well.
Absolutely, and it's never been any different in netball. I mean, how many guys do you see that don't have the potting ability of others that can still win tournaments because their knowledge of the game and their smarts. So, but the game has definitely become more attacking and.
Oh mate, I don't disagree at all. I've never been known for a huge potting out and developing style of game. I've always been known as a more, I guess, playing the right shot all the time. But even I realised after a period of time, I just had to improve potting and be a bit more aggressive. You have to keep up with the times. As we watch Mick,
I'll keep saying it's funny to watch Ben Judge and Jake. See, Jake doesn't have any fears in the world at the moment. He's flying. He's pretty much got a result in every tournament he's played in this year. So he doesn't have that fear, and he doesn't worry about others knocking balls in and running racks and whatnot, and he's just getting the rub of the green. At the end of the day, he's actually just getting a nice rub, and that's what you have. That's what you need to win these tournaments.
Yeah,
if you ask Mick Hill's exactly the same. At certain points in tournaments, you need a little bit of luck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's like you said, just the break.
Sounds really obvious.
Just the break, getting a good spread off the break, getting the ball, and that's still a little bit of element of luck. You can't control the break. You just need to hope they spread well, and the ball goes in, and then you can go again.
Yeah. I mean, we all hope that we could run tournaments in every single cue sport other than snooker. Obviously, the world title at the moment is the correct amount of races, but that's a snooker tournament, and they're playing race to 17 in the world final. I mean, you don't have a race to 17 in a world 9 pool or a world 2-shot tournament, do you?
Exactly.
So, and these are the games that you need. You need longer races to find out who's a better player.
Sure. And meanwhile, Scerri's actually just played a magnificent shot that opened that black up and to give himself a chance to win his frame. That was actually a super.
I've got a question for you there, Jamie. Do you think he tried to land there, or do you think it was a little bit of luck, or do you think it was just a really good shot?
I think he's gone for the cannon. I think he has played for the cannon. Where the white, obviously if you hit a full ball or half ball or where the white's to land, but I do believe he went for the cannon.
Yep.
Otherwise,
look in it.
To go for. Look at this.
No, he's played that well.
He's actually not mucking around, Mick. I think he's flying fairly well.
No, I think Mick's got a bit of a strategy here. Try and compete with McKillie of the world, and pot out as quickly as he does, and put a little bit of scare in him.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's not necessarily a bad technique.
Well, Mick's probably not really known for being a slow player. Once he's flowing, he does
but
play
you notice he played that really quick. There is a big difference. So he's trying to compete. He's trying to put it to Mick, and
he's probably trying to prove something to himself as well, that he can mix it up with the best. Yeah. Pretty important thing to do if you want to succeed. Meanwhile, back to this tail. McCarthy's got a bit of an early lead on Ben. I didn't actually see what happened, but so I think Jake's record over Ben Judge is pretty good.
Well, mine was very good against him until the last fucking 10 years. I find him frustrating as hell to watch. He is a brilliant player, believe it or not. He's actually very, very good. He's won everything recently, Ben Judge, and all credit to him. He deserved to win both Oceania championships, both the full 15 Reds and the 6 Reds. Obviously applied a lot of time. He's got the tour spot for 2 years, and over at to play the pros, and he really deserved it.
You just can't stand sort of watching his.
I can't watch him.
A bit slower?
I can't. I find it hard to watch him play. Yeah, he's a bit slow, but I find it hard to watch. Only because he rarely goes the right way about it, and he still gets them, and that's frustrating for a full player.
I actually find him extremely methodical in his approach. You're right. He may not.
He always has been at both games, but he seems to go the wrong way and get them, which is even more frustrating, which is a huge advantage for him, I think, against top players, because it puts this, when someone's got 2 shots in the black and they misenjaw it or do something silly, they're not anyway, give you that false hope. Ben does that to players, but he still gets them. He's very mentally strong, and that's really what you need at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I mean, trying to bring frustration out of your opponent is... No one really does it. No one tries to do that.
Well, as you said, there's ways to do it just by playing good pool.
Yeah.
And frustrate
Robbie
players.
Barry is obviously the blatant
Well,
obvious
I
example of that.
watched the bloke play once and fell asleep, and I heard him commentate once and I fell asleep there as well, so he's not on a good wicket from the strike rate.
I'm actually shocked at how many people don't know about the bloke when Robbie was actually a professional and turned up with a pillow to a professional match on TV. Turned up with a pillow. I mean, who does that?
It's
doing
a
something
very
fairly
good
wrong.
example of why the game of 9-ball and snooker actually doesn't need timers.
What are we watching here? Are we watching the Mick of the World game?
So look at this, he's got out of the snooker. He's had a crack at pot that too, I reckon.
This is the best opportunity Scerri's ever going to have.
Yeah, he must.
Not only to win a major tournament. I mean, he's won a couple, but not overly big tournaments. But he's got a big chance here. He needs to keep his head. This has been the problem. Obviously, Mick last year, there was a few blokes that packed themselves on the way through to the final, and obviously Mick found some form. But I think everyone realises they're capable of beating the best in the world on our tables if they play at their absolute best and get the right rub. Just back to the game. Is he going to smash this under the yellow here and then try and come out off the side rail onto the other yellow, onto the other red? Sorry. Yeah, that's the one he's on. But where? Is he on one of the reds? I can't tell where the reds are. I'm not sure if he played it. I don't reckon he played that with any real idea of where he was going to land on one of the reds. In the middle or not, and now he's stuck. See that's and this is where Hill will actually punish him, I reckon. I mean, it's tough, but he can probably tuck up behind the yellow on the bottom rail here. If he can do that, then actually he probably can't do that. But I just think chances like that you don't get them very often, and I think we're about to see it here. No, he's definitely meant. No, he hasn't. Mick Hill Whamwah, and that Whamwah, he doesn't mind the old emotion, Gilly of the world. Do you know he's actually obviously met him a few times, and he's a very unemotional bloke off the table. He just loves the old expressions. I'm all for it. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, have you ever met a bloke called Luke Hopp from Sydney? That would be the giant killer. 147 giant killer. I am a little bit shocked that he calls himself a giant killer rather than the cannon kick, because I mean he could actually beat Mick Hill. He could beat Darren. He could beat anyone. He could beat Evan Reyes if they had a cannon. 1-9 cannon. He just goes for them all. He just loves it. No, it's not hanging shit on Luke time at all. I'm just telling you what Luke is about. Mick, so looking at Scerri. He's got an issue. He's got an issue here. The table's a little bit different here at Slate, so I actually think he tries to bump this. No, I think he tries to bump it. He's going to try and bump it. There's no way that he will not try and bump this. Mate, I'll put $1 million on this. He will try and bump this over the middle pocket. He's gone the double. We're both retards, obviously. This is a huge opportunity for Scerri here. No, this is perfect if it goes. He's played it well. It's a great shot. I like the way he plays that, to be honest. Well, it sounds easy now, but... yeah, well played. Let's get over Jakey. I think there's no doubt, and this is no disrespect to Ben at all, absolutely isn't, but I think, as I was saying before, Ben doesn't go the right, he's not he hasn't grown up playing 8-ball, whereas we all have. The way that he pots out and the way that he goes about things is not the same as the rest of us, so Ben gets through these tournaments based on his mind and the way that he just believes he can do anything at the moment. So I still believe the mistakes he makes, he's eventually going to get caught out, and that's obviously what's happening against Jake. I haven't seen a lot of the game, but he's going to run into trouble eventually, and Ben needs to rub the luck, rub the green to get through. But that's what you need in these tournaments anyway. So it's tricky to. But I just think Jakey, the way things are going, I think Scerri might get. I think Scerri may get Mick here, and if he does, Jakey will win this, and that'll just be another thing that McCartney's.
He's actually going and done the bending and toilet break when you're leading.
Toilet break when you're leading, I remember that. That's stupid. Go when you're losing, man. Go when you're 3-0 down or 2-0 down, or you're. Crazy town. Maybe you actually needed to go. That might have been the thing, yeah. Just wondering whether Hawk from Sydney doesn't mind if I go every time I lose a frame. I'm not sure if there's any rules involved with a money game like that. You know what we were talking about last time when the Geelong tournament was on? That Carl O'Donoghue was wearing a USA top and Stevie Tran was wearing a Brazilian top in the final or the semis or whatever it was. Well, now we've got Mick wearing a, what is that, an Italian jumper? I must admit, yeah, I probably wouldn't go overseas. I probably wouldn't go overseas and wear an Aussie kangaroo thingy, whatever they do. Not that touristy.
Nice opening red from Mick, and extraction about to occur. Now, this is the key shot, Bennett. Without a doubt, you must get the good extraction here, not pop the yellow. So side rail, kick it out, like that. Lovely shot. It's so easy to see these shots, Ben. I wish I could play them, mate, I tell you. Love these freaks.
It's all about confidence, isn't it?
It's about killing.
I've never been overly full of confidence.
I've always been confident like that, you know. It doesn't seem to happen. Yeah, he's just going to drop this thing, and he's over a choice of 3 or 4 balls. A bit more energy to drop this, and that's what it's giving him. Yeah, it's a good shot. Now, Benny,
So I think he just all day plays the red into the middle, off the back rail, comes in between, takes the 2 reds off, picks the 2 reds off, and see you later.
so once again, it's all about giving yourself the most amount of choice every shot. There's no point, unless you absolutely have to. If you've got the option to play for 2 or 3 balls, but you only try and play for 1, I think you're limiting what you can possibly do. You're always better off playing for multiple options.
Yeah.
Oh, he obviously could have held that, so he's doing the opposite way to what we first
He's
thought.
trusting the table, he's just going to roll this into the bit side, come back up with the 2 reds.
I think he just topped it a bit, really.
He's over here to touch, but he might be perfect on the one under the black, so he's fine.
No, I think he'll play the other one and just come off the back cushion, really.
Yep, looks like that. Alright, you know more than me.
Only on occasions, Benny. Like,
I reckon he's off angle. I reckon he's off angle here. This is a tough shot.
I reckon you're right.
He probably had to do that, but
Maybe he can run through it. Hard to tell from this thing. You're going to know it by the way he plays.
stun it to the.
No, you did. Oh, look at this shot.
See, that's what Mick feels good at.
Yeah, I haven't
That's
even
why
seen
he's
that
a
shot.
freak
What
show.
freak show.
That's the difference, honestly. Under the pump, play that shot. I mean, he loses the match, but
You miss
flops
it.
that.
So 3-0. Well, this has been a really good match to watch. The standard's been quite high from both players. So we'll flip back over. And what is going on here? Who's on what?
Well, we can pretty much tell who's on the table, considering that jumper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
Right spot.
I actually don't think Ben Judge owns another jumper. I've never seen him wear another jumper. So I'm going to say that that's maybe the bloke's not making a lot of dollars, whatever he does other than pool.
No, well, he's going to England for 2 years for the World.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I don't think it's about dollars, man. He's flown to every
I'll
tournament
give you a
from
shout out
Perth.
now, Ben, when you listen to this. If you do listen to mate, get yourself another jumper. Get rid
Have
of
you
the
not
stripe.
noticed the flight, how much it cost to fly from Perth to Melbourne or Melbourne to Perth? He's come to every tournament that's existed in the last 2 years. I don't think it's about money. I honestly think he's the most superstitious.
I'll tell you what, mate, if he doesn't win that
human
run-
being that's ever lived.
If he doesn't win that match, he's going to have to burn that jumper then.
Well, why would he burn it when it's, surely you can lose one sometimes, occasionally.
Superstition, mate. It's all about wearing the same thing. If it doesn't work out, the superstition's gone. So, get another jumper. Just get another jumper, Ben Joe. That's all I'm going to say. Do
I'm
it.
going to make a call. I'm going to make an early call because I'm about to go and see. I reckon I should get odds on this. Anyone listening, they can take the odds. They can ring Dan Lynch on. What's his phone number? Dan's the bookie. I am going to bet on Jake McCartney to beat Mick Hill.
So you're already picking the 2 finalists.
6-4.
So you've already picked the 2 finalists.
I've already picked 2 finalists. 6-4. I like it.
6-4. Jake McCartney.
6-4 to McCartney.
Well, that works for me because I've got quite a bit of investment in Jake McCartney anyway. So
Mainly because he'd kill me if I said that we could win. But actually, fuck you. 6-4
well, Nick Hills is
I'm
going
telling
to
you,
be
this is all over. And
Yeah.
this is what's happened. He's had this against Joel. I mean, Joel's probably one of the biggest blacks you've ever seen to go, like I mentioned earlier, to go 2 each. And then Mick's had the best break ever. Everything's over the hole. Anyone could knock him in. Joel's had a dry break and they're all over the hole pretty much as well. So that's the trouble with these tournaments, and the short races and honestly the bigger pockets. Brings the feel back to everyone.
Yeah,
Pretty much the break is, it's become 50-60% of the game at this level.
Well, he's actually not played that well. Oh, geez, I thought I was going to go past it. Just pulled up.
Doesn't mind a little kick in there. Little blow up, does he?
Yeah, a little bit of like air pump with the torso area.
And he's just,
Very diplomatically said that one.
well, you know what, you have a go at me all the time about blowing up, about getting out of position, all that sort of thing. I mean, he's $1.04 to go game.
Oh, mate, I'm not saying to you that he doesn't
He's
do
a big
it.
kick and all that sort of
Oh,
thing. Mate, he's 20 times worse than me. You're off the edge.
20 is probably a bit too much.
It is.
No,
It's
you
ABC
get the
all day.
shits when you don't land on the 5-cent coin, mate.
Oh, mate. Well, the Italian's in the final, that's for sure. The Italian has beat the Maltese.
Well, he's definitely going to win this game. And she's break next, is it? can say they haven't enjoyed the stand of this match. It's been excellent.
Excuse me.
I just assumed he thought he was going to break the pot out, but actually it's scary break. Ben Nunan's doing a toilet break, he's not even playing. Now unfortunately we can't show the other frame because it's racking up as well. But it's going to start before the other frame does, so we'll have a quick look at it. Jake McCartney's going to break. He's just lost that last frame. He had a red right over the hole. Obviously he missed it. Probably to win the frame too. So the enormous headed unit has just smashed the white ball straight off. Look at the balls spread too. Ben Jones says, thank you very much, I'm going to take reds and pot out. And this, as Benny spoke earlier, can turn matches, that sort of stuff. Very important for Scerri to get a ball off this break. Doesn't do it. First glance, Reds look for balls. He's just got a pot one. There's nothing not on Reds. That ball might slide past the other one to the middle. But the yellow is ready to hard to tell from him. He has indeed. Well, it makes it even a bit easier now, doesn't it? Well, Benny is just about to return, and I think his prediction may be come true in about 2 minutes' time. Scerri's actually dry broke, Ben, and well, what a bad time to do it, eh? Balls were went everywhere.
Yeah, see, it's hard to. You notice when someone's a class above someone else when it's absolutely surprising when they get out of position or they miss in general. And when they're obviously sitting over the bags and whatnot, Mick will never miss. But when there's linking balls, obviously you know what I'm talking about there. Balls to get on other balls and whatnot, he will never make that mistake.
Just to explain to guys
that
might be watching that aren't familiar with what linking balls mean. What Ben means is you don't really have to do anything with the white, and it's just another ball available for you to pot that and then just get onto another ball. So you hardly have to move the white.
Just roll your boat. See here, he's going to probably.
Well, he's, you know what? You know why he's not landed there? He's overcut that into the pocket.
He's landed on the ball underneath. He's got a plan here.
Well, I thought he actually could land on that, but he didn't.
He wants to take this. He's going to screw under here, under in and out, and leave that red. Yeah, he's played this right way. There you go. Screw it in and under, and now he's just plump. And just leave that red. Yeah, that was actually his tricky ball, believe it or not. The one close to the hole was a tricky ball because he had a bit of. He had some issues, so...
You're right, he'll leave that ball to last an angle where he just cannons the yellow and he's fat.
Mate, as much as I think that Jake will beat Ben, he's a fighter, mate. He's very, very hard to beat. He doesn't make... Same in snooker, he doesn't... Oh, there he's just kind of done it.
Well, I did say...
the commentator's curse,
yeah,
I am an idiot.
You've done it because Jake actually scratched the break and left the Reds fat, and then you can't see it, but Ben Judge has just missed pretty simple red.
Yeah. Jake, he's been a bit of a strawberry king at the moment, but he's deserved it. But
Mick Hill not looking like he's in too much trouble here. Now this is the key shot, obviously. Oh yes, sorry, I'll take my eyes off the TV. He's got rid of that.
Goes in the middle.
He got rid of that.
Just doesn't make mistakes in that position.
Black office in the corner, so this match is over. But you know what? Full credit to Mick Scerri. I think he's played well in this match.
Yep.
And just one dry break, really. One dry break for a possible 4-all. That's all it takes. So Mick Hill goes through to the final. Now we get to skip across the other frame. You'll see that red down the bottom end is the ball that Ben Judge missed to allow Jake in. Now, whatever Jake just did was horrible because he's not left himself anything fresh. Mick's just come over and give us a bit of his wisdom. He said earlier on, you've got to go off a break once, and that's your match. And well, he's spot on, and that's exactly what he did with Gareth Potts in the final.
What we've been talking about all day, it's the same level overseas. It's the same thing. The break has become the main issue in the game, and the level has improved that much. And I honestly believe that the level of other players has improved that much that the break and just a little bit of rub here and there determines who wins the tournament.
I think a lot of the old school players are having trouble coming to grips with that too. They're still thinking that it's not the level that's improved. They just think it's, I don't know what they think, but some of them just can't grasp the level. It's just ridiculously out of control.
As we're talking all day, myself, Alec, and Mick were talking about what you can do when you're on the hill. The amount of tournament matches that have been lost in major tournaments, whether it be the world titles or in Australia, not so much these things, you can't do it at 2-all. But trying to even it out, I mean, like the toss of a coin, see who breaks last, it's a bit harsh, isn't it? So like even lag last, even lag for the last break. If you go 10-all in a world title final and you lag for the final break,
I don't know if I agree with that, Benny. Because
why not?
Well, lagging at the start is who determines who gets the break. I mean, if you lag and win the first frame,
well, you don't. Well, most of these tournaments you don't lag. Okay, well if you lag at the start there, then fair enough.
No, I think one whatever the decision is needs to be done at the start of the match to determine if it gets to the final frame. That's who's right.
Anyway, what's Jakey doing here?
I mean, can you imagine if you won the toss or the lag at the first frame, then you lose it in the second one, the bloke breaks the pot's head on you. How do you feel about that?
Sure.
Did you say Jake's already?
No, I didn't say that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Benny, if this shot comes off, he will be, because I don't know if he's looked at it. Well, it might be a lot thinner than I'm giving it credit for, but screwing back again, he's found it. Here's the angle, and this yellow I think can't not promote.
If he's smart,
Jeez, I don't know if he'd be screwing off this. It feels like he just cannon into the red.
Can I ask you a question, Jamie? Why do you not just play the yellow that's in between the two reds, right? And knock, I'm not sure where the jaw is, but knock the red right out.
And make the yellow. It's not a bad shot either, but I just like the shot because you can't not promote the yellow. Well, he hasn't actually been a bit harder. I felt he had hit a bit harder though.
I think it will go off the. It looks like it goes off the rail, off the red. I'm not sure, but
the thing is, I don't know if he
he's too straight on there. Yeah.
This is actually a time that he made the layup. He might not have a choice.
Well, this is the difference. If you're 3 each, imagine this being 3-all. What do you do there? You've got a massive buffer at 3-1.
Yeah, there's just no way to get on the yellow. You don't have a choice. You must hit the ball over the hole. You don't have a choice. You can't foul. You can't try and produce something from nothing. You've got to just hit the ball over the hole and just try and hope you get back to the table.
Well, if he's got a tiny bit angle, do you reckon he...
Make it as difficult as possible for your opponent to pot out at least. Well, he did have angle. He's obviously found something.
He's got 2 shots. So we've been watching it.
No, I don't think he's got 2.
Try and chop it.
I think he's going to try and play it rail, yellow.
It must look a bit easier. It's obviously off
a bit of pace though, Benny. The white ball's going to be all over the shop. Well, he's tried to play that. He's actually controlled the white pretty well too,
but you're right. The right shot was to. That's when you start freestyling, mate. When he's just giving him the frame, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Puts that ball over the hole. The red that was on the left-hand side.
That's what happens when you're 3-1 up. You got everything go your way. You just sort of relaxing concentration and play silly shots. Simple as that.
I think Jake actually knows better than that too. I just think he's just saw the winning line and close to the winning line. I thought, you know what, just pop this.
This is what Judgy feeds off. He won't go away, mate, unless you break a pot out. He will not go away. And I honestly believe that his experience in England playing the Q school. If you had told most people in Australia that Ben's a great player, past Australian snooker champion and whatnot, but I honestly believe that he learned that much from his experience in England playing the Q school. Didn't go any good at all, but he must have learned a shitload. And
it's all about that, and I would love to go.
His game since then is a different class. You don't have to look at the way he plays, you don't have to look at the way that he stands, he cues, all that sort of thing. I mean, we all know it's not textbook, but if you pretty much go back and see everything he does and how many times he goes game, or he makes a break at snooker, or wins a chrome. It's that consistent. It's scary.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a lot of outs when the ball's there.